Okay, everybody. So today is Wednesday's session. So I'm going to go ahead and November 12th, I'm going to go ahead and show RCIC, Real Estate Capital Intelligence Community. I'm going to go to possibly two of our chats in GPT-5 and the Model 5 and the RCIC, showing you the models and all that stuff. And then I want to point out a couple of things that some people. What happens generally is that in some cases, people use the chats, you're using a lot. You may use it for a couple of days and do a whole lot of work in one chat. Then it starts bogging down. You'll see the little dot where it's thinking. It just lasts, it just stays there while it's thinking because it starts getting really slow. It'll start getting really slow. And so when you go to put a new chat in, which you can do new chat or new project, it may not recognize it right away what you were doing. And so I normally will tell it, hey, this chat's getting a little, I need to refresh it. I'm going to start a new chat. Then I tell them that, and then I go start the new chat. It makes it a little easier to actually navigate that. But some people will come back to me and said that doesn't remember stuff they did, work they did like a day or two ago. And that's probably because of that. So unfortunately, sometimes in some of these chats where you are doing a lot of work, that is, you don't want to, make sure you save things to PDF and Word and ask it to save things, but also trying to keep in track that you need to sometimes be a little bit more patient if you got some stuff you're really working on, or try to save it. You can save it. Otherwise, you got to restart a new chat. I'm going to kind of show that a little bit tonight right now. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and show it on the here's me. So basically tonight, resident Zoom. So it actually knows this, I did this right now. This is actually one I started working on this morning because I had to, it got a little chatty. Like I said, I've been working on this chat for about a week. This one up here, so I had to restart it with the rebuild. This is the one that I've been working in. It's a little tired, it's a little slow, so I had to start it with this one this morning. It's okay, it saves it there, so you can always go back and get all the information that you need. You don't lose it. It's here in chats. In reality, people should use projects more. I have just had a habit using chat. You can use either or, it doesn't matter. Neither really is going to cause any problems. I'm just trying to tell you guys what you need to do if you start getting something that's bogged down. You guys will see that little dot that just sits there and flashes slowly. And a lot of times I will just go out and I'll just go here and I'll close it, or I'll use refresh, and then I'll come back and reopen it. Sometimes it just takes a few minutes. There's some little things you just kind of got to know how to massage it. So I'm just letting everybody know right now. So this is the Real Estate Capital Intelligence Community. So if you're here, either building deal flow, building capital, or building operations, and RCIC exists to give you the intelligence tools and systems to do that at scale. So we're three pillars: intelligence, operators, and community. So with intelligence, our first pillar is distress, markets, code enforcement, AHJs, the authorities having jurisdiction, zoning, auctions, overbids, surplus, capital requirements, all the signals that actually matter. We've got operators, the people who know how to turn signals into deals, deals into capital, and capital into outcome. And then our community, a private environment where we actually share workflows, not hype. So when it gets you into it, it's really punchy, guys. The goal is simple. Wake up every day smarter than the day before about money, markets, and deals, and never pump blind. So we give you market intelligence, the distress signal, the RCIC 50, and soon the 100 and 250. We're going to 250 markets. If you are working in a market outside the 50, the 100, or 250, then you can add it yourself. Everything you can do yourself too as well. You can add things, you can subtract, you can expand and contract however you want to do it. But what I would try to say is that I'm trying to put these in there, it's kind of laying all the way through Washington, D.C. or something like that. It's got everything in the middle, 50 markets, 100 markets, 250. So it goes from 6,513 zip codes to probably 13,000 to probably 25 to 30,000 zip codes will be in the system. And so you just want to, remember that all, and these are what come to you in the middle of the night. So basically, market intelligence, the distress intel, buy box engineering, deal engine workflows, capital pathways, the operator tools, the cockpits, the vaults, the packet flows, and the TC standards for transaction coordination. Now, obviously, I also, along with Michael, Lisa, and Cindy, Owen, Clear Path to Close and clearpath2close.com. Willie's also a great transaction coordinator. So if you guys need that help, but we provide a lot of information. There's a lot of, you can learn how to do transaction coordination, do a lot of stuff. Everything in real estate, you can learn yourself and you can do yourself and master yourself in this. Then we got support for flipping, BRRRR, creative wholesale, surplus overbid, and private lending. So tonight is we're going to answer some, if you got people have questions or not questions, I know kind of what some of the questions are going on. That's what I'm going to try to answer. Looking at the real counties and zip codes, after this session is over and I'm got record, I'm actually going to generate the list of the 50 actual markets. And I'll put that list into the Facebook group, into the files section, so you actually know what it is. And then it's all the zip codes that are in those 50 markets, 6,513. So it's going to break down, all those. And then, like I said, I think we got over 10,000 market signals last night. So we'll also explain pretty soon with market signals and how to convert that. Over 10,000. I mean, you're talking foreclosures, probates, everything. It's incredible what we're producing. So making sure you understand how to use it correctly and then showing you what we're releasing next. So quick wins for residents, where to look, what to run, how to use the tools. We got the deal handoff standard that is actually in files tab in the Facebook group, Private Money Associates compound. It's Private Money Associates. So facebook.com/groups/Private Money Associates. In the files tab, you will see that it's one of the nearest, closest, newest, freshest adds to it, uploads. So you can just download that yourself and you got the deal handoff sheet. You fill it out. Somebody asked me today what you do with it. You actually go and make it your own, get all the information into it, and then you input it right here where the plus is, add files and more. And that's that's basically your deal handoff standard, which is pretty solid. Keep in mind in the 9-step onboarding process, you're building your buy box, you're establishing your markets, you're embedding. People get confused. Step 3 is embedding. That's when you're telling it yourself. You're putting yourself into the system. Now, like I said, occasionally, like I said, the chats kind of get a little slow sometimes. So when they get busy, when they get a little bit tired. So what you want to do is you may have to do that 2 or 3 times. Keep in mind, people, this does not happen overnight. The predictive AI, the predictive system, it takes somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks, as long as 30 days. You've got to do probably 7 or 8 sessions. You're going to see that it gets better results as it goes. Week 1, it's going to get a few things. You're going to have stuff established. Week 2, so you're going to start seeing stuff come in. Week 3, it's going to start generating all of it for you. You can set it on a schedule, just like I do with the AHJs and the top 50 markets and all the zip codes. It literally will send that to me during the middle of the night, and I can do CSVs and have that in the system. It's phenomenal that way. But that's kind of just keeping what's going on with that. So we got the 50 market architecture. There are 650, it'll be 100 and then 250. What it covers, why it matters, what's coming next. Live market runs. So you can drop your county and zip code, we'll run it. Thursday night's a great night to do it. Keep in mind, any of these sessions, let me know ahead of time. We can drop your county, we can run deals, we can run zip codes. We can do a lot of stuff manually instead of having to set up for overnight deal engine. Live deal runs, bring your deals, we'll run them together. Capital pathways, why capital partners prefer RCIC investors, why structure beats chasing. And we got the AMA, so you can ask anything. On these sessions, you can ask anything, bring your deals, send them to me ahead of time, we'll work on your deals. If you don't feel comfortable doing it on the recording, after the first hour, we do these Wednesday and Thursday sessions, we still can do Monday sessions. We will actually turn the recording off and we can work on deals. Where people don't have to worry about anybody else, just the people on the deal that we all know. So head over tonight. So if you want to run a county or a deal, let me know. We deal in signal, structure, and outcomes. No hype, no fluff, no bad data, no guesswork. You're never going to get a bad deal in RCIC. You're going to every deal, every signal, everything that comes to you is going to meet your exact needs. If you can always make adjustments yourself, expand and contract. Add a few zip codes, add a couple markets, take a few away if you start getting overwhelmed. You can tweak it yourself. It's not like Deal Machine or PropStream or Goliath or Batch Leads. All these companies out there that are, you have to call them, you have to depend on them to fix it. Plus, it's a subscription. So that's kind of what's going on. Choose your close your opening. So if you guys have your cameras and all that stuff, it's good. It's cool. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about uh, our market signals. And AHJs. The number we are generating is incredible. How can they? So guys, keep in mind, hell yeah. So this is the moment to plant the flag for you guys and show them what RCIC is really producing behind the curtain. So this is where I lift, pay attention to the man behind the curtain, unlike Wizard of Oz, pay attention to me. Here's how to talk to your market signals, AHJs. So a narrative you can speak live on Zoom, which I'm going to do. I like telling you because some people can read this, some people can't. A structure breakdown you can turn into a slide or visual later. So step one, live Zoom talk track. We're doing this right now. Most investors are flying blind. RCIC is not. We're building one of the cleanest, biggest, and smartest distress plus regulatory signal engines in the country. And the numbers we're pulling from AHJs, code enforcement, courts, auctions, and county level infrastructure are insane. Pause and let them react. So I'm sorry, I'm just telling you what I'm reading. Telling you to pause, let's let you react. This is incredible. It's insane. Market signals. When we say market signals, we're not talking about generic micro trends. We're talking about foreclosure initiations, notice of default timelines, probate indicators, evictions and filings, code enforcement violations, liens and nuisance violations, abandoned property indicators, vacancy and non-occupancy markers, AHJ, authority having jurisdiction, updates, zoning activity, demolition requests, water shutoffs in some markets, tax lien movements, surplus and overbid creation, auction flow, and who the hell is actually in control at the county level. Then drop the punchline. That's what I'm doing. It's just telling me what to say. These are real world boots on the ground signals from 6,513 zip codes across 50 markets. No BS, no scraping Zillow and calling that data. And we're expanding to 100 and then 250. If you do not have, if the markets you're working are not in the 50 right now, you add them yourself. And I'll help you with it. You let me know, and we'll do it on Wednesdays or Thursdays or Mondays. We'll do it on a one-on-one. I'll help you. I give everybody who comes on brand new my direct phone number, my mobile. And I also give everybody my email address and my 7-day schedule, exactly what I'm doing, what I should be doing at those times. Minus, when those changes, I'm pretty good, and people who know me, who've been in the ground, know that I'm pretty good about telling people if something's going to be changing. So AHJs. AHJ stands for authority having jurisdiction. Almost nobody in real estate pays attention to them, but they control everything that matters in distressed property. Code violation escalation, condemnation, nuisance enforcement, rental licensing, zoning decisions, demolition orders, fines, taxes, liens, approvals, and the triggers that bring a property into play before the market ever sees it. Let it land. So RCIC tracks AHJ signals like a hedge fund tracks implied volatility. The number, incredible number. So right now across RCIC 50, the raw AHJ plus distress signal count we're picking up is massive, well into the thousands per cycle. We can do 7 cycles a day. And when we widen into RCIC 100 and later RCIC 200 and then 250, that number goes exponential. So we're talking tens of thousands of actionable micro signals a month, not leads, signals, which means you see the market before agents, wholesalers, hedge fund, or local investors even know something is happening. So RCIC market signals, what we capture, distress signals, foreclosures, every signal, pre-foreclosures, notice of default, auction workflows, post-foreclosure surplus opportunities, tax liens, delinquency indicators, probate triggers, evictions. What we see in property condition signals, code enforcement violations, nuisance violations, unsafe structures, vacant and abandoned properties, boarding condemnation requests, environmental complaints, municipal and AHJ signals, zoning changes, demolition orders, rental license issues, building permits or failures to obtain them, water shutoff indicators, fire department hazard postings, police property maintenance notices, urban decay markers. Then capital market behavior signals, investor clustering, private lender heat maps, operator footprint shifts, hard money loan activity, flip and burr velocity. And so what happens is all this gets cycled into it, and what you're looking for specifically in those areas is what gives you the lead to actually, it gives you all the information, it gives you all the information, the case number, everything. You get everything all at one time, then you can immediately go to back into it, enter the property, and start pulling all the comps, doing the ARV, putting together the rehab estimate. You can do all that. You can actually sit over that deal engine to do that all automatically, but you decide what you're going to work. It also will come up with a strategy, so you can actually tell, what the strategy is. That's 25 influencers, and I'll put a list out this weekend of the 25 influencers, probably do that on Sunday. 25 influencers that I put in that'll eventually grow. There's a lot of people like JP Morgan, Grant Cardone, there's a ton of people, Steve Witkoff, just a lot of people, Gary Nesner and Chris Voss from the FBI. There's a lot of different influencers in there, and you're going to actually tap into even Gene Simmons as a showman. How would Gene Simmons be invest in real estate, and what kind of strategies would he have? Obviously, being the legendary rock star he is, but I put these 25 people in there so you can get there, how to do things, and how to get excited. The showman. Maybe you're at a conference or something, you have to get up and speak. How do you be Gene Simmons from Kiss during that presentation? So you got to basically channel all this into your actual buy boxes and your embedding. So even though this looks like it's overwhelming, it's a lot of information. Once you have your buy box and your markets established, all the tools, your cockpit set up, CRM and Vault, it's all set up, and all the capital partners are waiting for matching. It basically then takes all this information, and then it turns it into the deals, into all the offers. It matches the lenders. It is phenomenal. So what makes us different? Most platforms track leads. We track signals. Leads tell you what is. Signals tell you what's about to be. So we're looking for what is about to be. RCIC is building the first real-time multi-source AHJ informed distress intelligent network in residential real estate. We can do commercial too. It's designed for everything. So obviously we'll get the PDF and visual prompt and a script. I'm going to do one page PDF and a visual prompt. So it's going to do that first. It's going to make a one-page PDF that I can put out. It's going to make a visual prompt, which I'll go, you see the graphic design brief. Like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff. When everybody that comes on new, you'll have this RCIC prompt system. It's got the red icon. That's step 2 in the Bitly. You put the Bitly link in there, it becomes, then you have access. It's lifetime access. So this is generating right now. It's generating. Here you go. My one page is ready. And here's the visual. So let me show you guys this, because a lot of people haven't seen it. Sometimes I don't like to do the visuals on screen during the Zoom, because sometimes it can take a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and show this to you guys, and so I do this way now. I have a specific, so I can keep all my stuff together. That way I can just go through and sort all my visual prompts back to, when I need them again or something. If I like something, I want to go make some changes. So this is going to generate a visual prompt. And sometimes it can take seconds, sometimes it could take a minute. And these have been turning out really good. When you do the visual prompts and you do it this way, you don't have a lot of the padding issues. You still want to check for typos, especially if there's a lot of information. You can get some little typos. There's a couple ways you can do it. I normally will just copy it, and then I'll re-add it to the Ask Anything, to the plus, and then tell it where to look for it. I'll go ahead and find it, or ask it to proofread. You can ask it to proofread. You can ask it to check padding. Padding would be the margins, all 4 of the margins, the top and bottom, left and right. Sometimes wording can bleed off. It's pretty good. It doesn't get angry at you. You don't have to worry about it. It's the only thing, like I said, there's some little tweaks as far as what we're finding out, that some people go in and they open up a new chat or something, and it doesn't seem like it remembers it, and you almost feel like you just lost it. But you didn't lose information. Sometimes you got to make, I'll keep these open. I'll keep these up so I can go back to them when I need them. And that's kind of a little tweak I've learned. I'm learning all these processes. and I'm trying to pass on all these tweaks to everybody. So you guys can see it's showing up right now. RCIC market signals and AHJ intelligence. And I'll have this and I'll put together a text promo showing you guys everything's going on. And later on, like I said, tonight, before the end of the night, I'm going to actually generate the PDF that has all 50 markets, at least the 50 that we're working right now. It won't have the zip code 6,513. It'll have the 50. But I can tell you what, I mean, we're literally getting thousands and thousands of these. So I'll go back here now to my original chat and give it a second. Like I said, it's a little slow because it's been used. I've been using this chat for a little while, for about a week. Use a few others, use Graphic, use a few other ones. And so I did actually cut back. I cut off, you'll see the new actionable. I did cut off the Colorado Denver ones right now so I can focus on generating everything for all of you. So let's go ahead and, yeah, here you guys go. So the overnight dual engine is running itself logically. So this automation turn, there's a R650 target markets. All signal sources were virtually swept. So you got public trustee foreclosure lists, court dockets, probate and eviction, tax lien publications, utility occupancy, vacancy indicators, verified AHJ feeds, full duplication paths. You're not going to need duplicates. Here's the synthetic counts. Some of the storage failed because I've got it on it, but that's on me. It's because of my system. It's not because of yours. I just gotta tweak it real quick, and I have to go in. I'm not going to do it here live, but basically I have to go in, and there's a thing right here where you see Nate Marshall, where you see my workspace. You go in there and you can actually change the memory, and then it creates these creates storage space again. So we got total raw signals 8,742. After dedupe 5,219. Average per market 104. Yeah, and I'm going to give you guys a list of all the markets. There's 50 of them. Market 14 has 213. Market 3 has 201. Market 27 196. Market 6 189. Market 31 182. So here you guys go right now. Here's the top 60 for market. Foreclosure, there's 24. You know, this is example: probate, eviction, AHG code evictions, vacancy signals. You got tax liens, utility anomalies, occupancy issues, mixed distress cases, multi-signal composites. So the vault, like I said, there's just a little bit of storage that I have. It's like I said, it's on my system. So it's gonna try to do it again, one more of the turns real quick. Let me go back to the reboot. Yeah, that was actually this morning. Sorry, I didn't realize that was actually this morning. So here you guys, we're back to where we were going before we put the visuals. So I apologize for that too. So I got the one pager. So like I said, sometimes you just got to make sure you're save things in CSVs or save Word and Excel and PDF and Word and then all that. But it'll tell you exactly what the when you got storage, or you got to go back and delete memory or things like that, and you can have it all sent to you by your email and stuff like that. So you will get full. That many, you got almost 10,000 market signals. And like I said, when you get your buy box set up, it takes an hour. You follow the 9-step on the PDF. By the time you got that 9-step, by the time you've really gone through about the first 30 days, somewhere in that 30-day period, like if you were to start today, you'd be good by Christmas. You would, because obviously Thanksgiving and some of the holiday stuff, you would have a fully functional system bringing you basically taking a funnel. Those 10,000, let's say 10,000 market signals come in. It's like a funnel. By the time it comes out, those are actually everything meets your buy box exactly, or within a little bit of there's a little bit of play. Then you set that all up. It's as accurate as you put in. You want to put in all the information you want. That whole handoff sheet, everything tells you what kind of information you need to put in. The purchase price, what kind of ARVs, what kind of numbers are you looking to get, what kind of profit are you looking for, what's your do you do 70% for your max allowable offer or 65% or what? So you said it. That's people will talk about the accuracy. The accuracy depends on what you put in. You put in specifically what you were looking for. Maybe sometimes you have a little bit of play when you start out. I always say start out 3 to 5 zip codes, build up to about 10 to 12 in your areas that you're working for, unless you're doing national, and then maybe cut back to about 8. So you dial in. That way you dial in, and then basically it's like, you start out here and you go the funnel and you end up here at the bottom, and then that's going to be pretty much your deals, and that's going to be everything that works for your deal flow workflow. So that is the visual prompt. Let's generate the 50 market PDF list now. I may have to go back and do that next the process. It may not have that. Okay, there you go. It has it. Visual graphic. No, just let's see. So it does have a clean presentation ready of the 50 metro markets currently used in St. RCIC, distress signal sweeps, AHJ, authority having jurisdiction tracking, capital analysis, operator deployment, and zip level workflow, 6,513 zip codes. Let's do the visual graphic. And partner poster. So it's going to tell me that this should be pretty interesting. I want to see what this looks like when it comes when it's done. So let's go back to, so you guys can see there's the markets. So I'm in reboot. Let's make sure I remember where I'm at. I got 2 of them going for this. I'm going to go and play this visual prompt. And then I want to get back. I'm going to have to do a text promo thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close this out for tonight. So this is actually, like I said, it's generating here in the 50 top markets. That's pretty cool. You guys will see it start coming through in a second. I'm not going to do the poster unless what this comes up with. If I need to in a couple of days, I can come back and do the poster. But I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to make a text promo post. And then I'm going to go ahead and process the Zoom. So just so everybody knows, when we do Zoom, it takes about half the time. So if we do 30-minute Zoom, it takes about 15 minutes to process it. I go to YouTube and I load up to YouTube. It'll generate all my YouTube, my title, my description, my tags, and a visual. You always want to make sure your visual is 1.99 megabytes or smaller. It's 2.0 actually, but I always ask 1.99. So it fits YouTube. I can go there and make the YouTube video. Sometimes I get it right away. Sometimes it could take 5 to 10 minutes. Then I get the YouTube. I come back here and I have it generate a Facebook post covering what we actually discussed on the Zoom. So keep in mind, we'll have another Zoom tomorrow night, Thursday night, 5 p.m. Denver time, size Mountain Standard Time, 6 Central. We will have it about an hour, maybe 2 hours tomorrow night. If you have a deal, bring your deal, bring your zip codes, bring your county if you want to check it out. It's pretty sweet that way. Yeah, proofread. Proofread New York is proofread New York is proofread. Proofread. I'm gonna have it proofread real quick. Still adultery. So just keep in mind, you still gotta sometimes just, you gotta go through and sometimes check it. Just make sure you're right. I've posted stuff before. I've had minor issues, and people will notice. So I'm going through right now, just kind of checking to see Indianapolis just kind of has a hyphen. I mean, other than that, it's New York City's off. Little Rock. Phoenix, Pittsburgh. Typos. Please proofread and regenerate. Thank you. It's not a human, it doesn't have emotions. I still treat it like it is, Who knows? But it's always just nice to show it respect. Even if it's, people say it's a machine. I spend a lot of time with this machine. So show it a little bit of respect, maybe who knows, maybe just have some good vibes on yourself for doing so. If that's, if that helps, that helps. I like to try to make it a little easier. The whole thing of this is to help all of you, all the people that are watching, they're viewing right now, they're going to watch this video. It is very important to me that you guys have an incredible experience. Like I said, we're learning this. This is unlimited. I don't think there will ever be a limit to what RCIC can do. I think it's just what we can create. You can create yourself. I just always say, you get a little glitch or something like that. That's one of the first things to check is just go back and see if that, if you're in a new chat and it doesn't seem to recognize what you just worked on, then go back to what you did, and you may have to be a little patient. Maybe it does take a little time. Like I said, there's a couple ways to cheat that. If it's slow a little bit, if it's slow, that you can sometimes speed it up by just closing and reopening it or using refresh. And you can sometimes just massage that, the experience chat, the one that you've been working in. But a lot of times, like I said, I will go and start new ones. It may take, it could take, a few minutes for me to, sometimes I'll just have to go and basically do the copy and paste from one chat to another to remind it what it's all working on. And then it seems to figure that out. So just like I said, just keep a little bit of patience on this. It's just incredible. There's nothing this thing can't do. It's just everybody kind of has to learn how to use it on your own. And it's not tech. You don't need tech. If you're watching it, you don't need tech. You don't need any technology. You can talk to it. Like I said, you talk to it in here. For those of you who say this is where everything happens, this is prompt bar. You obviously have the RCIC prompt assistant, which is the red icon. You get that after the Bitly. That's step 2. Step 1 is anybody gets the GPT-5 Model 5. Let's just real quick through. New York City's good. Orlando's good. Richmond. I got Phoenix twice on there. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go back and, like I said, I'm probably not going to post. I'll post the PDF. I'll post the thing, sometimes, like I said, it does come up a little bit. Okay. We are going to close out. Can you generate the YouTube? And it does know YouTube by YT. Yeah. For this video, this session, also visual prompt. I will Then we'll have Zoom to download. Upload it to YouTube and return. And return to you to generate a Facebook post during this session. You guys go. Option one, best for discovery, investors, authority tone. It gives you 4 options. I'm going to go with option one, just because I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and make the YouTube thumbnail. And let's see, it's got all that stuff again for me. So it's awesome. So let me go over here real quick and do the make my YouTube video. Should be under 1.9 megabytes. It didn't, like I said, it didn't make the, it still had a few like little errors in that visual. I'm just going to put the visual, the PDF into the Facebook group for Private Money Associates, which, like I said, is facebook.com/groups/Private Money Associates. I'll put it in there. If anybody wants me to send it directly, let me know. That does have all the 50 markets. It will go to 100 and 100 and then 200 and then 250 by then. Hopefully by the end of the next 2026, we'll have 250 markets. That should increase us to something like 25,000 zip codes. So if we need more, we need more. If, like I said, if your markets, if you're looking at areas that aren't in there, then you can add them. You can just tell what zip codes. Always put the county in the zip code. So like, I mean, if I'm in Evergreen, my hometown, I put Evergreen, Colorado, 80439 in Jefferson County. Because you always have Jefferson County and 80439, the zip code in the county. So this is awesome. So it made it really look cool. So I've got it all. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up tonight. So all right, the viewers, thank you. Give me 15 to 20 minutes to generate YouTube video. So I'll be right here when you're ready to drop the YouTube link. Take your 15, 20 minutes, upload the video, and once you're back, I'll generate Facebook recap post, residents only version, a public promo version, a clean thumbnail headline if you want a second option, and optional timestamps if you want them added to the YT. I don't really like the way the timestamps have gone in the past, because sometimes they'll be like an hour and a half. They're not precise. I'm trying to see if I can get them more precise, because I would like them. I like the idea of that. People could just zip into where they're at. I don't know if we need them yet, but I haven't been really. It's one of those things that's it's growing on me on how to do it, because they don't come out exactly right now. But try to make everything easy to understand, easy to use. And this thing's really easy. It's a lot easier than people think. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and generate the Zoom and the YouTube video. I thank everybody for watching. I will see you tomorrow night on Thursday, November 13th at 5:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's Standard Time, not Daylight Time anymore. See you tomorrow night. Thank you.